bit further forward, but he's going to play as the right wing back. The left wing back is Dan Butler. Centre half, James Dunn and Danny Hollands. Sorry, centre midfield, James Dunn and Danny Hollands. Jed Wallace just ahead of them. And then up front are the two T's, Matt Tubbs and Ryan Taylor. The bench for Portsmouth, David Cornell is the substitute goalkeeper, signed on loan today from Swansea. Danny East, Wes Fogden, Craig Westcar, Nigel Atangana, scorer of the goal against Cheltenham at Whaddon Road earlier in the season, Connor Chaplin, and onto the bench comes Paul McCallum, who's a striker on loan from West Ham, who's just back from a 7-match ban, which he got after a red card against Southend, where he rather stupidly then smacked the card out of the referee's hand as he was showing him the red card and got himself a 7-match ban. So it was a bit of a silly thing to do, so he won't be doing that again. Just a reminder quickly of how the league table stands. Tranmere 30, there's Hartlepool on 30, reading up Tranmere 34, Cheltenham 36, Carlisle 37, York 37. That is how it stands today. We'll keep you up to date with the rest of the games. Cheltenham Town's secretary and director Paul Godfrey is alongside me. Paul, is this all about how Cheltenham can cope with the atmosphere tonight?
Up to a point, although I think with this more experienced group of players we've got now, with the changes we've made in the last few weeks, I think there's players out there that are not going to be at all concerned by playing in front of a big crowd. I mean, Trevor Carson was here himself last year, played for Portsmouth. Pablo Mills has been around the block, so has Matt Sparrow. Will Packwood has come from Birmingham City, he's played in front of some big crowds. So I think really it's one to relish. We were talking before the game on the way down, I was having a chat to Russell Milton about it, and he said he's going to tell the players to go out and thrive on the atmosphere, really, because you don't get to play in a stadium like this every week and a crowd this big every week. So it's one to go out and draw a bit of inspiration from.
Two sides have swapped ends, so Cheltenham are going to play in this first half from left to right. That's attacking the end in which the Cheltenham fans are based. They're the only people in that stand away to our right. Apart from that, it's completely empty. But Portsmouth it is, who will be playing towards their own fans, towards the sort of home end here at Fratton Park, who are going to get us underway. And over the ball is Matt Tubbs. Well, Cheltenham know all about him. 15 goals on loan for AFC Wimbledon this season, and we are underway here at Fratton Park, and the ball goes back into the central defence, where it's knocked forward, and Packwood wins the first header, and it's flicked on and out to the right-hand side towards Danny Haynes, and Cheltenham coming down that left-hand side, and it's gone out for a throw, and Cheltenham will have a throw midway inside the Portsmouth half. Craig Brown-Barrett comes forward, and he will take that throw in, looking for some movement. And he might have to go long here. Nobody really short for him. Matt Richards does offer himself, and Richards knocks it back to Brian Barrett, right tight on the touchline. Brian Barrett looks to dink it ball towards Sean Harrod, but Jack Watmore gets it away. Headed one then by Pablo Mills around the halfway line, goes out to the far side, and Brian Barrett and Richards rather get in each other's way, and then a clearance is hit against Brian Barrett, and it goes out for a goal kick, and that will be taken by the Portsmouth goalkeeper Paul Jones, just all in orange tonight, while Trevor Carson is in all yellow. And Paul, Cheltenham probably just got to try and keep it tight, haven't they? First 20 minutes, try and see if they can quieten the crowd down a bit.
Exactly, yeah. It's a game to start off, try and keep things tight, try and look for the counter-attacks when they come along. Elliot Richards has started out on the right-hand side, so it's just a straight swap really for Wes Burns, with Danny Haynes as maintaining his place on the left-hand side he's played in the last two games. Portsmouth coming forward and headed away by Darrell Berry, flicked on by Elliot Richards towards Sean Harrod. He looks to hold it up, does well, finds Matt Richards, but Richards is dispossessed, and now Portsmouth coming down the right-hand side, and the Cheltenham have got to get a bit tighter here. Cheltenham got tight, the cross comes in, it's over the top, and Ryan Taylor retrieves it on the far side, dinks it back into the box, comes out, the shot comes in, it's blocked well by Will Packwood, and it goes out for a throw, but the first sign of danger there for Cheltenham, Paul. Yeah, there was the right-hand side. Bartram got in behind Craig Brown-Barrett, left him trailing in behind him, but Pablo Mills got across quite well there. It shows the value of having that player in that position just in front of the back four.
Here's Webster for Portsmouth, comes forward. And the challenge comes in, sliding tackle in by Elliot Richards, and Cheltenham have it now in the right back position with Darrell Berry. Knocks it forward up towards Richards, flicks it on. Nobody there, and it's quite easy then for Joe De Vera to come over and collect that ball. Former Swindon player, scored the winner, scored an equaliser for Barnet at Whaddon Road in the last minute to get inside a 1-1 draw at one point. Now Cheltenham coming down the left-hand side with Haynes. Haynes looks to take on his man, but good challenge by De Vera. Haynes has still got it into the penalty area, and it has to be cleared there by Danny Hollins, but Cheltenham will retrieve it. Packwood knocks it long, but that's not going to go anywhere, and that's going to go out for a goal kick. This is BBC Radio Gloucestershire's Match Night. Ian Randall in the studio. You can text him 81333. Use Gloss as the first word of your text, or tweet at BBC Gloss. So have your say with Ian back in the studio, and Ian will also keep us up to date with the games that matter in League Two, and also some in the conference which will have a significance for Forest Green Rovers. Clearance long by Jones out to the far side, kept in, and Pablo Mills wins the header. Portsmouth will win that second ball, and battling away there, Mills, and Brian Barrett knocks it forward, and then it's cleared away by De Vera. And now Packwood has to go back towards his own goal and can only knock it out for a throw on that far side. So Portsmouth will have a throw level with the edge of the Cheltenham penalty area.
Talking to some Portsmouth people before the game, they seem to think that Robinson is going to be a really big loss for them. They were very downhearted about the loss of their central defender, and Watmore, he's only 19, has slotted into that central role for them.
Yes, he's a good player. Into the box, and Taylor will turn and shoot, and just wide of the post. Taylor just turned Darrell Berry there. Berry's having a word with the referee, Dean Whitestone. Clearly thought that there may have been a foul, but the throw was taken. Bartram knocked the ball into Ryan Taylor, and he was able to spin Darrell Berry and put the shot just wide of Trevor Carson's post. So that was the first real alarm for on the Cheltenham goals, about 12 yards out or so, just on the left-hand side of the penalty area there. Taylor able to spin, but luckily for Cheltenham, just wide. We've had nearly 5 minutes here at Fratton Park as the long ball goes forward. Harrod looks to hold it up, but Watmore does well. Hooked clear by Hollands. Troy Brown is just... Tubbs wins that against Troy Brown, and then Richards tidies up. Finds Brian Barrett on the left-hand side. Brian Barrett looks long for Harrod. He's going to have to chase well to get that one, and Paul Jones comes out of his goal and clears into touch. But that wasn't a bad ball down that left-hand side, just for Harrod to make a run. But what Cheltenham got to watch, Paul, is that he doesn't become isolated up there.
Yeah, I mean, this is with the Portsmouth playing three at the backs, where you're going to look for Richards and Haynes to get down the sides. I think that's where we could profit tonight with, on the counter-attack, using the pace that they've got. It's a shame that Burns isn't playing, but, he's staying at home with sickness and diarrhoea, apparently, so I hope he recovers from that quickly. But yeah, I think that's where we could profit this evening if we're going to do something going forward. Ball is knocked forward, and Packwood has to go back towards his own goal under pressure from Tubbs. It's headed back to Trevor Carson. And as Paul said, Elliot Richards has started down the right-hand side, and Danny Haynes down the left. Long ball from Carson, looks for Harrod, flicks it on well, but De Vera comes across and volleys it away, and it comes out. And now Craig Brian Barrett down the left-hand side looks to take on his man. He's heading towards the corner flag, and has he won a corner? He has. Good work there by Brian Barrett. Got down that left-hand side, and he's won Cheltenham a corner in the corner where the Cheltenham fans are. As you see, it's fairly quiet at the moment at Fratton Park. We haven't had any Pompey chimes yet. Here's Matt Sparrow, who's gone across to take this corner. All the big men are up from the back. And Sparrow sends the corner in deep. And Jones has to reach up and get that, and just clings onto it, and now will bowl it out onto this left-hand side. And Portsmouth looking to break quickly with the left wing back, who is Dan Butler. And he gets it back again from Tubbs, and Butler plays it inside to Dunn. And good challenge, though, coming in from Elliot Richards on the halfway line. That'll go out for a throw. Taken quickly. Back to Butler, and he lays it back then to Webster. Into the centre is Watmore with his shock of blonde hair. I think the Gloucester and Wales hooker Richard Hibbard, and you've got something about what Jack Watmore might look like. That's a good ball out to Bartram, but it's a good challenge by Craig Brian Barrett, and he wins the second ball as well, and then plays it off Bartram, but the linesman rules it went back off Brian Barrett, and Portsmouth will have a throw in that far corner. A couple of goals from Ian Randall in a moment. Just after this, Portsmouth attack dies down, and the shot comes in from way out, and that was Danny Hollins, and that's not going to trouble anybody. Goes into the crowd. Ian, let's have those goals. Games that matter tonight in League Two. Cambridge against Tranmere, Northampton against Carlisle, York against Bury, Oxford against Hartlepool. So we'll keep you up to date with those are the four teams around
Cheltenham. Long ball is headed away by the Portsmouth defence. Mills knocks it down the line looking for the run of Elliot Richards. And he might have thought he was fouled there by Butler, who sort of came in right behind him, but Richards has got up and still got the ball, and it goes out for throw. And Cheltenham now will have a throw down in the far right-hand corner just below us here. And Darrell Berry back in the side now at right back. Played well on Friday at Newport, and in my opinion, justifiably keeping his place tonight after that performance. He gives it into Richards. That's a bit short, and Cheltenham didn't really make the most of that. Richards' ball back to Berry was a bit short, and he put it out. That's a good little battle, isn't it? Right back, Lee Vaughan and Darrell Berry.
Yeah, I mean, it's the competition for places argument. You know, they're going to keep each other on their toes. Berry, as you say, rightly came in on Friday night and performed well, got forward well as did his defensive job. So rightfully keeps his place.
Troy Brown lays the ball out to Brian Barrett on the halfway line on the far side. Brian Barrett sends it forward looking for Harrod, but it's headed away by Watmore. Sparrow tidies up nicely and then gives it into Berry. Berry looking forward for the run of Haynes, but it's tidied up, and then a long ball will send Packwood, has to go back towards his own goal. Safety first from Packwood under pressure from Taylor. Heads it out for a throw to Portsmouth, level with the edge of the penalty area, left-hand side. 0-0 here at Fratton Park. 9 minutes gone. Throw for Portsmouth, which Butler was going to take, and now he's decided to leave that one to James Dunn. Might be a long one. Cheltenham didn't defend long throws very well at Newport on Friday, so let's hope they can defend this one better. James Dunn is the man who's going to take it. In it comes. It's a rather high rather than long, and it's headed away at the near post. And Matt Richards tidies up well, but can't do any more than just knock that one out for another throw to Portsmouth. But it's about 20 yards or so further towards their own goal than the last one. And this time Dunn does take it short, gets it back under pressure from Mills, lays it inside to Danny Hollands. And now here is Webster, plays it out to the right hand side looking for Bartram, and he's held up well by Danny Haynes, and now they've had to go all the way back to Watmore inside his own half, and so they're going to start building again now with Webster on this near side. Webster into Taylor, who's just dropped deep into a bit of space about 35 yards from goal, sends it deep, and that's going to be too deep, I think. Matt Tubbs was coming in, but Trevor Carson was able to catch that one quite comfortably and bowls it now out to Craig Brown Barrett, who just looks up on this left-hand side and looks to play the ball down the line, looking for the run of Danny Haynes, but he can't do much about that. And Joe De Vera comes out and puts it out for a throw. 10 minutes gone here at Fratton Park, and Ian Randall has just said big goal in my ears. Ian, what's the big goal? Thank you, Ian. So York 0, Bury 1 at Booth and Crescent. As the ball goes out to Darrell Berry on this near side, gives it to Matt Richards. Richards takes a touch and then lays it into Sparrow. Sparrow back to Richards again. Under pressure from two players, sends it forward over the head of Harrod. Here's Haynes just getting into the penalty area, lays it back, and the shot is, and Elliot Richards just off balance there. That was a good little ball in. Danny Haynes had made a good run coming in off the left-hand side. Just tried to hold it up and lay it off to Elliot Richards, but he just couldn't. This was off balance a bit, Paul.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about a minute ago, is getting that support into Sean Harrod, who's being asked to do the job on his own up front. Did it manfully in the 2 games he's started so far. But yeah, as you said, there is a danger that he could get isolated. One of the things they've been looking for Danny Haynes to do is to get across and join in as often as possible. That's what he did just there, with a great diagonal run across the box. Laid the ball back for Richards, but as you say, wasn't able to really get over on top of the finish.
Great header away by Troy Brown, and it's knocked forward by Harrod, looking for the run of Elliot Richards, but Jones comes to the edge of his box and gathers, and then bowls it out to this left-hand side, and Butler crosses the halfway line into Tubbs with Mills at his back. A slip by Berry has allowed Portsmouth to get down the left-hand side with Wallace, puts the cross in, but out comes Carson very, very well. That could have been costly, but and then Carson plays a long clearance very, very quickly, and it's almost gone from one end to the other, and it's gone out for a goal kick. 12 minutes gone here at Fratton Park. It's Portsmouth 0, Cheltenham Town 0 here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire's Match Night. Remember, you can text Ian in the studio. Text Ian Randall, 81333. Don't leave him in there. He's all alone in the studio. Put Gloss as the first word of your text, or tweet at BBC Gloss. And let's hear your views on whether Cheltenham can come here tonight and get something from a very, very difficult place to come. Long clearance by Jones, headed by Packwood, flicked on by Sparrow. Looks for the run of Haynes, and Haynes gets away from his man, but he's judged to have fouled him. And the challenge on Andy Bartram. And Portsmouth will have a free kick just to the right of the centre circle, inside their own half. And I think it's going to be taken by Watmore. It is. It's taken short by Watmore and then played out to the right-hand side to Bartram. Plays a little one-touch ball and a cross comes in, and that's a good ball in again. And Trevor Carson, alert to it, catches the ball in his 6-yard box and then runs straight out to the edge of his penalty area looking for a quick distribution. But he's decided he's held it up and he's going to kick long, deep into the Portsmouth half. Harrod is going to battle away with that, but it's headed away by Webster. Darrell Berry with a bit of time gives it into Pablo Mills just inside the Portsmouth half. Mills looks down the line for Richards. Good control by Richards, but Webster is in there to snap it up, and Tubbs flicks it on then looking for Taylor. Troy Brown comes across. Header again by Webster, and just a little bit of a battle in the midfield is won by Portsmouth, and Taylor gives it out to this right-hand side. That looks as if it had gone out of play to me, but it hadn't by Tubbs. And the long ball, and Carson has to clear, but it's not the best clearance. And Portsmouth will pick it up again in the centre circle. But Matt Richards has done well. He's won that ball off done. Here is Richards, goes to the left-hand side. Brian Barrett making a good run. Brian Barrett comes to the edge of the penalty area, sends a very, very deep cross over. Portsmouth wanted that to go out for a throw-in, and a bit fortunate there, really, was Butler. Played it off Elliot Richards and out for a goal kick.
That's the sort of overlapping run that we want to see, because with Portsmouth playing the three at the back, Brian Barrett got in down the left-hand side, got into a great position for the cross, and got underneath it, spooned it up in the air.
Yeah,
that's but good for him to get into that position in the first place. Let's see some more of that, and hopefully next time he can put a better ball across.
No, it's Portsmouth 0, Cheltenham 0 here at Fratton Park. We've had 14 and a half minutes, and so the only goal elsewhere in League Two of any significance is one that Cheltenham will be pleased about. York City 0, Bury 1 at Bootham Crescent. Tom Sawers, the goal scorer for Bury. York, remember, starting the day on 37 points, one ahead of Cheltenham, but they do have that better goal difference. They have a goal difference of -7 to Cheltenham's -19. It's now -8, that goal difference. Portsmouth come forward though, and it's Joe De Vera. Plays it out to the right-hand side to Bartram, who looks for the run of Taylor, but Troy Brown does well to come across and plays it off Taylor, and that will be a throw for Cheltenham on the far side, level with their own penalty area. So Cheltenham have negotiated the first quarter of the first half. 15 minutes gone here at Fratton Park. It's 0-0.
Without wanting to tempt fate, I think I've been quite pleased with the shape that we've displayed so far. We've looked quite solid. Portsmouth are a good attacking side. They've got two decent forwards, Taylor and Tubbs, and Wallace, who plays just behind the front two, but he pops up all across the line. He was on the left and he was on the right a minute ago. Very busy player, given a kind of free roll in behind the front two. He's a dangerous one as well. But so far, we've done okay.
Cheltenham looking to build an attack down the right-hand side with Darrell Berry into Elliot Richards. And Berry's gone on, and Richards has done well. He's dropped in there into a little bit of a narrow position. Here's Matt Richards into Elliot Richards. Matt Sparrow on this near touch line. Looks to twist and turn away. Has to go back, though, to Will Packwood, and Packwood will then send it all the way back to Carson. Long clearance then from the Cheltenham Town #1 into the half, and Harrod challenged by De Vera, but not given a free kick, and now Portsmouth come down the right-hand side with Andy Bartram. Bartram's going to have a little run at Brian Barrett. Cuts, goes past Brian Barrett. Bartram gets to the edge of the penalty area. Brian Barrett's coming back. Bartram across, and it's turned into the back of the net, and that run by Andy Bartram, he got away from Craig Brian Barrett, and it's turned into the net at the far post, and I think it's Matt Tubbs who's turned it in. It is Matt Tubbs. It was Bartram down that right-hand side, and in the end it was a tap-in for Matt Tubbs. So Cheltenham have fallen behind here at Fratton Park. 17 minutes gone. Portsmouth 1, Cheltenham 0.
Oh, I should just shut up, shouldn't I, really? I mean, I just said that we were looking solid, and then we go picked apart down the right-hand side, then the Portsmouth right. Unfortunately, it was far too easy. Bartram there, he just skipped past Craig Brian Barrett and got that low cross in. Good bit of work by Bartram, but it was far too easy for him, I'm afraid, in that position over on the right-hand side. Good ball across, and there was Tubbs at the back post with a tap-in.
Yes, and it was a good ball. It was a good run by Bartram. Just that little turn of speed, too much for Brian Barrett, and he got across, laid the ball in, and a tap in, I'm afraid, for Matt Tubbs. So Portsmouth lead 1-0 after 17 minutes here at Fratton Park. So Cheltenham now go to still on 36 points, and now with the goal difference of -20. Mills plays it in. Sparrow wins it back, but Dunn did well to come back, and now here's Packwood in the centre circle, lays it off to Richards just inside the Portsmouth half. Richards sends it forward, looking for the run of Harrod. Harrod knocks it down. Chance for Elliot Richards, equalises! What a strike from Elliot Richards, and Cheltenham hit straight back. Matt Richards sent the diagonal ball into the box. Sean Harrod won it. It came down, and Elliot Richards met it beautifully on the volley, fired it under Paul Jones. Instant reply from Cheltenham. Portsmouth 1, Cheltenham 1.
A perfect riposte. Fantastic stuff. Great ball from Richards. Great header from Harrod. He just pulled off his marker a little bit, gave himself a yard of space, nodded it back into the middle, and Richards had a lot of work to do when he ran onto the ball. About, 15 yards out, would you say?
About so, yeah.
Had to really hook his right boot around it, but he caught it absolutely sweet as a nut, as they say, and the goalkeeper really had no chance.
Well, what a great way to hit back from Cheltenham. No more than a minute or so, I would say, between those two goals. But now Cheltenham have some more defending to do. It's all happening here at Fratton Park. So Tubbs putting Cheltenham ahead, but Elliot Richards equalising straight away. Corner for Portsmouth now on this near side. Comes into that near post, and the header comes up from Watmore. Goes back out again. It's Packwood it was who just won the header against Watmore. And Portsmouth have a throw on this near side, and Wallace is going to leave it. And I think James Dunn is again going to try that long throw into the box. Here it comes. Dunn's going to send it in. Headed down, and Cheltenham will be able to clear that one from Sparrow. Really was an excellent strike from Elliot Richards. As Paul Godfrey says, he had a lot of work to do coming in on it. It was a great little nod down by Sean Harrod. Good ball. Richards played a lovely diagonal ball. Matt Richards played a diagonal ball, headed down by Harrod and volleyed in straight under the body of Paul Jones. So 19 and a half minutes gone. While I have a breather, Ian Randall, you got a couple of goals for us. Same score here at Fratton Park. Portsmouth 1, Cheltenham Town 1. Matt Tubbs putting Portsmouth ahead, but then Elliot Richards with his first goal for Cheltenham. And what a memorable one it was as well. A lovely, sweetly hit volley under the body of Paul Jones to put Cheltenham level straight away, as Paul Godfrey described the perfect riposte from Cheltenham. Now here's Watmore with a long diagonal, but that's not going to trouble anybody. So, let's get a breath back after that. That was a bit of a mad minute here at Fratton Park. It's Portsmouth 1, Cheltenham Town 1 here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire's Match Night. 81333 for your text. Gloss is the first word of your text. Normal standard rate supply. And here's Richards again into the box, heads it on, and Watmore gets that header away. And then it's knocked clear by Webster, and Darrell Berry's going to let that go out for a throw up around the halfway line. You can tweet Ian as well, at BBC Gloss for your tweets. Let's hear your views on Cheltenham. And what a good battle they've given here already here at Fratton Park. A poor goal to concede, but they really did hit back with an excellent goal. Well, we said we wanted somebody else to step up with Wes Burns not in the side. Elliot Richards has done just that, and here he is now. Looks to flick the ball on, and Sparrow battles away for it, but he's fouled. And Cheltenham will have a throw. James Dunn just coming in with, actually Danny Hollins it was, just coming in with a challenge, just about 10 yards or so inside the Portsmouth half. And Matt Richards, whose lovely diagonal crossfield ball it was headed down by Sean Harrod into the path of Richards for the goal. He's over the ball now. A couple of big men going up from the back. Packwood and Brown have both gone forward for this, so Richards is going to send this one in towards the far post, and header comes in, and it's 2-1, and it's Will Packwood, who's got across a lovely ball in from Matt Richards, and Will Packwood just came in there, and it was about 6 yards out and nodded it under the goalkeeper Paul Jones. Cheltenham have turned it around. 22 minutes gone at Fratton Park. Will Packwood's first goal for Cheltenham Town. It's 2-1 here at Fratton Park. Portsmouth 1, Cheltenham 2.
Well, I was just going to say to you, Mark, that the first goal that we scored gave us some encouragement that Portsmouth back three is young, bit inexperienced, and without their leader, Robinson, who's out with a fractured cheekbone, just sense there's a little bit of hesitation there, a little bit of uncertainty. And that's exactly what we saw with that one. Great ball in from Richards. I know we've criticised his set plays this season, as much as anybody. That was a fantastic ball, a great arching ball across the box. Packwood read it like a book, got on the end of it. We've seen how good his heading ability is in the just over the one game that he's played so far. Got on the end of it, perfect header, 2-1. Great stuff.
Well, we've said about Cheltenham failing to score 2 goals in a game. It's one of Peter Matthews' favourite stats. Well, they've done it here tonight, and 2 goals. Well, we've now had 3 goals in 6 minutes here at Fratton Park. Lovely ball, as Paul Godfrey says, just right into the centre of the goal, and Packwood was all on his own about 6 yards out, just stooped low and nodded it under Paul Jones. Incredible stuff. It's Portsmouth 1, Cheltenham 2, and yes, that is the real scoreline. Here's Hollands looking to his left-hand side, and sliding in there comes Elliot Richards, and it goes out for a throw about 20 yards from the Cheltenham goal. And Dunn, I think Butler was just waiting to see whether Dunn was going to want the long one, but he's not. Goes in short to Tubbs. Tubbs holds it up and comes away from goal, and across comes Sean Harrod, who's dropped right back. He's probably about 35 yards from the Cheltenham goal and knocks it out for a throw. So 24 minutes gone. Portsmouth 1, Cheltenham Town 2. Throw from Butler. Good challenge comes in there from Elliot Richards, and he battles away again. Wins it against Taylor. He comes to Sparrow, going across the field. Sparrow just under a bit of pressure, but he's given that one away to Barcham on the right-hand side. Barcham, who created the Portsmouth goal, into Wallace in a bit of space. Wallace looks forward. Good challenge by Pablo Mills. Comes back out to Wallace and sends that one over the bar, and that will be a goal kick to Cheltenham. That will just give me a little bit of time to tell you about those goals again. 17 minutes. Matt Tubbs putting Portsmouth ahead. Barcham going down the right-hand side, beating Brian Barrett. Low cross put in at the far post for an easy tap in by Tubbs. But then within a minute, Cheltenham level. Matt Richards from the centre circle sent a long ball into the box, headed down by Sean Harrod, volleyed in by Elliot Richards. And then a few moments ago, a free kick from Richards, arced into the penalty area. Will Packwood coming in on it, the low knee, all on his own. Header into the bottom corner. Cheltenham lead here at Fratton Park by 2-1. Packwood comes across, and he'll just knock that one out of play under pressure from Tubbs. And Portsmouth will have a throw once again, level with the edge of the Cheltenham penalty area on this left-hand side. 25 minutes gone at Fratton Park. Portsmouth 1, Cheltenham Town 2. Hollands with the throw into the edge of the penalty area. And it's hooked across the box, and header comes towards goal by Tubbs, but it was a good challenge by Troy Brown, so he wasn't able to get a proper header on it. Locked forward up towards Harrod. Harrod does really well, holds the ball up against De Vera, sends it back then to Brian Barrett. His first touch is a bit heavy, but he keeps the ball in play, and then a sliding challenge comes in, and the Cheltenham player has gone down under that sliding challenge. I think it's Danny Haynes, and it's going to be a throw to Cheltenham on that far side. Cross-Jureko colleague James Young, to my right, has just written "Stop the Cross" in rather large letters in his on his notebook. So I think yes, and that's what Cheltenham haven't really done, is it, Paul?
I think James has just said on his notebook exactly what I said in gestures to you shortly after the goal. Exactly the same thing. Yes, but no, we're back in front here, and all good so far.
Amazing
really,
turnaround. Amazing turnaround, isn't it, Paul?
I mean, Cheltenham have played well so far, and Packwood, he looks. This is only the second time we've seen him. He's come in from Birmingham City. He's not played a lot of football this year. He went out on loan to Colchester and got injured. He's been out for a while, and he looks quite a find. Looks a good player.
He does. He looks very composed, doesn't he?
Very good in the air.
21 years old.
We've needed. I mean, Sean North, who I expect is here tonight. He's a Portsmouth boy, and was coached us earlier in the season. We still speak to Sean from time to time. He's been saying right since early in the season that we needed another central defender, somebody really dominant centre half. Yeah. And Packwood's come in and he's played that role so far.
There's a bit of treatment actually on the far side there for Andy Barcham. He's just gone off the field, and I'm sure he'll return in a moment. But while he does, Ian, I think you've got a couple of texts for us. Well, I hope they do it just for you then, Ruben. Brian Barrett with a throw into Pablo Mills. Back to Brian Barrett. Knocks it down the line, but it's out of play. And I think Cheltenham have won that throw. Can't quite see the assistant. There's one pillar right in front of us here in this stand at Portsmouth, and it's blocking my view of the assistant referee. So I couldn't see where he put his flag there. But yeah, Cheltenham have got the throw. It's midway inside the Portsmouth half on the far side. Brian Barrett is going to take it. 28 minutes gone at Fratton Park. Portsmouth 1, Cheltenham Town 2. Yes, I'm going to keep saying it because then I might start to believe it. In it comes from Brian Barrett. Knocked away by Watmore. Up to Taylor. Lays it off well. And Wallace, first touch a bit strong. And Packwood's able to come in and just take that one off him. Brian Barrett sends it down the line looking for the run of Harrod. Watmore gets above him though with a header. And now it's out to the far side to Barcham. Sends it forward looking for Taylor. Flicks it on looking for the run of Tubbs. But Troy Brown was alert to that one and knocks it out for a throw on the far side to Portsmouth.
Now's the time for hard work. I mean, what we've seen far too often this season is Cheltenham getting in front in games and then conceding goals. I think somebody said, it might have been Colin Farmer said to me before the game, we've been in front in 10 games this season.
Yeah.
And failed to hang on.
Well, it's I made the stat apparently is that since the start of the year, Cheltenham have lost 10 points from winning positions.
Yeah, I'd really, if ever you just want the lads to just run their socks off, just cover every blade of grass and just stop Portsmouth from doing a great deal with the ball, get tight to them, as we've just seen there with Berry coming across to Butler, and when we get hold of the ball, just try and keep possession for as long as we can.
Nearly half an hour gone here at Fratton Park. Portsmouth 1, Cheltenham Town 2. Cheltenham fell behind, Matt Tubbs scoring, and then they've hit back with first goals for Cheltenham for Elliot Richards with a sweet volley, and Will Packwood with a nice header from a Matt Richards free kick. Header from Webster. Second header won by Pablo Mills. Sends it back forward again. Richards flicks it on, looking for Harrod. Harrod comes away from his man and then looks to knock it out to Danny Haynes on that right-hand side. Barcham, though, will send that one long. But that is eat and drink for Trevor Carson. Comes out about 16 yards out of his goal and gathers that. And Ian Randall, he got a couple of goals. Yes, and a couple of the sides who might perhaps have playoff ambitions. I don't know if Morecambe would have, but definitely Newport are in front. Elliot Richards knocks it back. The only goal among the other candidates at the bottom alongside Cheltenham is York 0, Bury 1 at Bootham Crescent. In the live table, Cheltenham currently 20th. We'll take that by the end of the night. Knocked out here to Butler on the left-hand side. He's one-on-one with Darrell Berry. Goes across. Matt Sparrow comes in with a challenge and wins it. And then a bit of a slice from Elliot Richards. It goes out for a throw, and Cheltenham have just got to be careful. Maybe a little bit of panic there after Berry lost that first challenge, first from Sparrow and then from Richards. But Cheltenham just got to try and keep their composure. Another important goal has gone in. We'll tell you about that one in a moment. Here's Butler, knocks it forward to Matt Richards. Go on then, Ian. Tell us about that goal. Yeah, they started on 43 points tonight, and they may think that a couple more wins and they can stop worrying about things. And there's a shot comes in from Wallace, but that's gone well wide of the post. 31 and a half minutes gone here on BBC Radio Gloucester's Match Night. Well, after 17 very quiet minutes, we then had 6 very, very eventful ones as Portsmouth went in front through Matt Tubbs, and then Cheltenham hit back with 2 goals, one from Elliot Richards, a lovely sweet volley, and then a header from Will Packwood to go in front.
Yeah, you use the word composure, and that's what we need to see. From Cheltenham, they're not used to being in front. They're not used to being. We've been in front in games and lost it during this season, and what we've got to do is go for as long as possible, but maintaining that lead. And I think the longer it goes, the better it'll get for us.
It will. Portsmouth will have to chase it.
We've just got to get through that barrier of keeping it tight for as long as possible, and then we can, from there we can grow in confidence and grow in, as you say, composure. We've seen around the edge of our own box there a little bit of hurried play, people trying to do things too quickly, slicing the ball out. Just let's just calm things down a little bit. We're in front in the game. We don't need to do anything at the moment. Let's just keep it tight and keep it simple.
Next target would be half time, you would think, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
That's 12 and a half minutes away.
Exactly. Go 10 minutes at a time, 15 minutes at a time. Let's just build on it.
De Vera in his own half, and the referee's just decided to give a free kick away again. It's behind that pillar, Paul. I don't know if you could quite see why he gave that free kick there.
I think it was a tug on the Portsmouth player there, just as his Portsmouth player turned and looked to play it back, and I think it was just looking down, I mean Haynes, who just pulled his shirt.
He's been quite quiet, hasn't he, Danny Haynes? Haven't seen much of him so far.
No, not a great deal so far. But I think there's plenty to come from Danny Haynes. I think we've seen in flashes.
Yeah.
What a good player he is. I mean, there was a moment in the first half at Newport on Friday, I don't know if you remember it, when they put together a fantastic move down the left-hand side. It ended with a shot that went wide. If that had gone in, it would have been the goal of the season.
Yeah, certainly I do remember that one, actually. Knocked forward and headed by Darrell Berry. Harrod comes in, just knocks that one down for Sparrow, gets past his man. Portsmouth want handball, but the referee says no. And now Portsmouth looking to break down this left-hand side. Here's Wallace on the halfway line. Wallace just comes forward, looks for Tubbs, but that one's not going to worry anybody, and that's just going to roll out harmlessly for a goal kick. Now, Ian Randall said a couple of big goals. Come on then, Ian, let's have those goals. So Hartlepool, well, they are closing the gap, aren't they? That would put them on to 33 if they could win that game tonight. Ball now to Richards, out to the left-hand side to Graham Barrett. Looks to take on his man. Graham Barrett comes down, and that's a good challenge, though, by Joe De Vera. And now De Vera looks for Barcham. Barcham holds it up on the halfway line. It's laid off, and now Cheltenham, that's a good challenge coming across. Pablo Mills doing that. That's just the job he's meant to be doing, just in front of the back four. Came across and won that challenge when he really had to. Otherwise, Barcham might have been away on a run. Now it's moved over to the other side here, and here's Butler. Gets away from Elliot Richards, lays it up towards the run of Tubbs, who's come out to this left-hand side. Tubbs with a little diagonal ball, and Packwood, though, comes across and knocks it out for a throw to Portsmouth. And there you saw the value of Pablo Mills, Paul.
Yeah, a couple of good little moments there. Defensively, Mills did brilliantly getting across there and putting the ball out. But then also that ball down the left-hand side, that could have been quite dangerous. Berry was there behind Richards, and then when the ball went beyond him, Packwood came across as well. So everyone's working, covering, anticipating the play. I mean, that's what we need to see more of.
Watmore on the halfway line, lays it across to Joe De Vera. De Vera plays it forward, looking for the run of Taylor, but Packwood was there, clears it away, goes back to De Vera. Here's Wallace on the in the centre circle, square ball to Dunn. Dunn looks for down the right hand side for the run of Butler, controls it, but Darrell Berry will win that, and Berry's giving that away now. And now here's Butler, chance for a cross into the box, cleared away by Packwood. Only as far though as Webster on this left hand side, midway side the Cheltenham half, goes back to the halfway line though to Watmore. Square ball across the halfway line to De Vera. Portsmouth pushing very high up the field. Now the ball's on the far side with Taylor. Gives it out there to Barcham. Looks to take on Brian Barrett. Got the ball back to Taylor again. Taylor gets the cross in, volleyed away at the near post. And then clearance is completed up towards Haynes, but it's headed away by Watmore. Second header won by Elliot Richards. Watmore then wins the header again. Berry heads it rather up in the air rather than away. Gets the second header in. Cheltenham just battling away on the edge of their own penalty area. And then Matt Richards does very, very well, very composed in the middle of all that mayhem, just to nod it back to Trevor Carson.
That's what we need, is a bit more of that sort of cool-headedness. I mean, we saw from Berry a minute ago, great anticipation to win the ball off Butler down the left-hand side, and he gave it away straight away. That's what we said about composure. You just need people to keep their cool heads, as Richards did there with that great header. 37 minutes gone at Fratton Park. Some goals and texts in a moment as Packwood wins a header down to Richards, into Mills. Cheltenham have the ball coming forward then just given away rather there by Haynes. Just his first touch rather letting him down, but he chases across against Butler and forces Butler into the area. He's given it to Berry. Berry to Haynes down this left-hand side. Looks to flick it on, looking for Richards. Doesn't quite work, and Butler
manages to win that one back. Now here's Hollands on the halfway line, up to Ryan Taylor, and he'll square that one again. And now Portsmouth have moved it to the far side now to Barcham. 10 yards inside the Cheltenham half, comes back to Wallace. Wallace into Hollands, and Cheltenham again have managed to push Portsmouth back a bit. But Wallace looks for the diagonal, looking for the run of Barcham, and Brian Barrett wants that to go out of play, but he's done well there. Has Brian Barrett played it off Barcham out for a goal kick. Ian, let's have those goals and texts. Well, it certainly could, but Portsmouth only had one other real chance, which was the early shot from Ryan Taylor, which he put wide of the post. So Carson hasn't had a lot else to do, has he, Paul?
No, and it's interesting. One of the supporters there mentions the spirit of Ellen Road. I was only thinking a minute ago, this does remind me a bit of that night at Ellen Road. I'm just thinking about the row here of blank TV screens, a relic from the Premier League years here at Fratton Park.
Long ball up the line, and Butler's going to get there, but he's going to knock that cross. That was good tracking back by Elliot Richards there. He tracked the run of Butler all the way back to the dead ball line, and Butler just ran out of space, really. Couldn't knock that ball across. 39 minutes gone here at Fratton Park. Just to remind you, Portsmouth 1, Cheltenham Town 2. Matt Tubbs putting Cheltenham ahead after 17 minutes. Elliot Richards equalising almost immediately with a fine volley, and then a header from Will Packwood, just glancing the ball under the body of Paul Jones from a Matt Richards free kick to give Cheltenham the lead. And that's a foul by Harrod, and you don't want to be giving fouls away, really. Just, it's not in a dangerous area, but Cheltenham, Webster was going nowhere really. He was going back towards his own goal, and Harrod was going through the back of him, allowing Webster almost to buy the free kick and relieve any pressure. And here he is on the ball now. Webster looks long down the right hand side for the run of Tubbs. I think that's going to be a little bit ambitious. It is, and goes out for a throw to Cheltenham, no more than 5 yards or so away from their own goal line. This is BBC Radio Gloucestershire's Match Night, live from Fratton Park in League 2 with Cheltenham Town. It's Portsmouth 1, Cheltenham Town 2. Remember, you can text 81333, but Gloss is the first word of your text. Ian Randall's in the studio tonight. He'll pick them up and give your views live on air, and also you can tweet him at BBC Gloss. Normal standard rates apply to any text. Don't forget the gloss at the first word of your text, though. 81333 is the number. Portsmouth have the ball now with Joe De Vera on the far side, plays it out to Barcham on the halfway line, back again then to De Vera. Cheltenham just keeping their shape and doing, which they've done very well so far. Here's Wallace on the halfway line. He's got Pablo Mills looking after him, and that's a poor ball though from Wallace, and Carson is able to come out and gather. 4 minutes to half time, and goals elsewhere at the bottom of League 2 that may be of significance. Dagenham 1, Plymouth 0. It's Oxford 0, Hartlepool 1, and it's York 0, Bury 1, and it's Dagenham 1, Plymouth 0, as I said, and Wickham 1, Accrington 0. That's the other one. So maybe a few of those sides above: Accrington, Cambridge, Oxford, Dagenham, Mansfield. May still be slightly fearing being dragged back down into it again, as the ball is now with Joe De Vera, as he looks to come forward from inside his own half. Looking for options and just knocks it forward. Good header by Troy Brown. Came across really well. Headed that one out on the far side. Throw to Portsmouth, 10 yards inside the Cheltenham half. And Barcham it is with the throw. And he's looking for options. Nobody's really moving anywhere for him. And in the end, he has to go short to Ryan Taylor, who'd come all the way. And now Barcham finds Taylor again. Taylor goes down, and the referee's going to give that as a free kick on the far side, about 10 yards or so in from the touchline, about 20 yards from the goal, but over on the far side. So a chance here now for a ball to be swung in to the Cheltenham Town box. Watmore's gone up. All the big men have gone up from the back, and Cheltenham will be looking to defend this one a bit better than Portsmouth defended the Matt Richards free kick, which Packwood knocked in for the goal, which currently gives Cheltenham a 2-1 lead. There's 2.5 minutes to go to half time. As there's a free kick on the far side here at Fratton Park. Cheltenham just lining up defensively. Everybody back for Cheltenham as this free kick is swung in, and the header comes in, and it's into the net, and it's the equaliser for Portsmouth. Cheltenham didn't defend the corner, didn't defend the free kick very well at all, and Portsmouth have equalised here at Fratton Park. I'm just trying to work out who the goal scorer is. They're giving the congratulations, I think, to Ryan Taylor, and it's Ryan Taylor who's just nipped in there. The free kick was sent into that far post, and Taylor got the header. Cheltenham haven't been able to hold on to the lead, unfortunately. So 44 minutes gone here at Fratton Park. It's Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham Town 2.
Yeah, that's annoying. We said that we needed to keep it tight for as long as possible. Gave away possibly a bit of a needless free kick in a dangerous position, but even then, how many goals have we conceded from crosses and high balls into the box this season? That was the latest one.
Ball given away. Matt Richards comes into the box. Here's Harrod. Looks to turn and twist and turn, but he's crowded out. And Watmore is able to clear. And goes up towards the halfway line. And Craig Brown-Barrett has to nod that one out for a throw. Yes, and that is the problem, isn't it? Stopping crosses, defending set pieces. That has really been Cheltenham's Achilles heel this season.
It has, we've conceded far too many goals from that, type of scenario. And we've played pretty well tonight going forward. We've created chances. We've scored 2 good goals, but you can score as many goals if you like. It doesn't do you much good if you're not stopping crosses and not getting on the end of those set plays. It was a good ball in the box from Butler. It was a good cross and a good header from Taylor. We know he's a dangerous player, but you want someone to get their head on it.
You do. And now the ball is back in the Portsmouth goal area with Jones. Lays it out to the far side there to Joe De Vera. Here's Wallace. And Wallace nearly gives it away, and Watmore has to slide in there ahead of Matt Richards, and that sort of thing will give Cheltenham some encouragement. As now here is Butler, plays it back to Webster, sends it forward, and Pablo Mills comes across really well, and then he looked to be caught to me there by Jed Wallace. Nothing given. 3 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. Here's Barcham, but there Packwood does really well, comes across and knocks it out for a throw on the far side. Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham Town 2. And it hasn't been a boring first half here at Fratton Park, I can tell you. Barcham is going to have a little run down that far side, is he? But no, Cheltenham want that ball to go out of play, and it does. Good defending on that far side by Craig Brown-Barrett. We're half a minute into the 3 minutes of stoppage time here at Fratton Park, live on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. It's Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham Town 2. Matt Tubbs putting Portsmouth ahead after 17 minutes. Elliot Richards equalising straight away. Then Will Packwood putting Cheltenham ahead after 24 minutes with a header. But then a couple of minutes ago, Ryan Taylor equalising for Portsmouth with a header, again from a free kick. Swung into the box by Butler, and Taylor it was on the far post who nodded it into the back of the net. And referee Dean Whitestone just having a word with Trevor Carson about something there. Paul, you think that's time wasting or something like that?
I'm not sure. I mean, it seems to be going on for a bit longer than that. Normally when it's time wasting, the referee just sort of blows his whistle and says get on with it, or he gets a yellow card out. So it seemed to be quite an involved discussion there. I'm not entirely sure what it was all about, but anyway, we seem to be back in play now.
Clearance is sent long, headed away by Watmore, and goes out of play for a throw to Cheltenham on this near side, which Darrell Berry will take. 90 seconds to go of stoppage time here at Fratton Park. Berry sends the throw long. Howard is beaten in the air by Webster. Header comes in again there by Pablo Mills. It's volleyed away by Webster. Packwood volleys it straight back again with interest. Howard looks to flick it on, but Watmore then will send that one back to his goalkeeper Jones, who is able to gather. A minute of stoppage time to go here at Fratton Park. Eventful first half, to say the least. It's Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham Town 2. Ian Randall says important goal. Cheltenham back in the bottom two as Tranmere score at the Abbey. It doesn't help Cambridge's cause at all either. I wouldn't have thought that goal. So on the far side, Craig Brown-Barrett is going to take the throw for Cheltenham. No more than 30 seconds to go of stoppage time. Brian Barrett sends it long down the line looking for Haynes. And the tackle comes in from Sparrow, but he's given away a free kick. And Portsmouth will be able to launch one more ball up towards the Cheltenham penalty area. This free kick's going to be about 10 yards inside the Portsmouth half on the far side. And Joe De Vera is going to send it up towards the front two. No, he's not, because the half-time whistle has gone at the end of a very eventful first half here at Fratton Park. It's Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham Town 2. Portsmouth taking the lead after 17 minutes. Matt Tubbs with a tap-in after Andy Bartram would skip past Craig Brown Barrett on the right-hand side. Cheltenham hit back immediately. A ball from Matt Richards headed down by Sean Harrod and volleyed home superbly by Elliot Richards for his first Cheltenham goal. And then 6 minutes later, it got even better for Cheltenham. A free kick, diagonal free kick from Matt Richards. And Will Packwood stole in, stooped low and just glanced his header under the goalkeeper, Paul Jones, to put Cheltenham 2-1 up. The question then was, could they hold it until half-time? No, they couldn't. 44 minutes gone it was when the free kick from Butler on the far side, rather a needless free kick given away by Cheltenham, swung in by the left wing back Dan Butler with his left foot across the box, and Ryan Taylor it was who came in on the far side and managed to head the ball past Trevor Carson to make it 2-2. Eventful first half, and Paul, some good things and some bad.
Exactly, yeah, it's another mixed bag, really. I mean, in terms of the overall effort and application and the quality that we've seen in that first half is a million miles better than it was 6 or 8 weeks ago, before Russell took charge and before we brought in these new players. So in that perspective, we're continuing to head in the right direction. It's just frustrating that, we get in front and then we can't hold on to the lead again. And both of the Portsmouth goals, really, you'd have to say were preventable. I mean, I'm sure Portsmouth would probably argue the same thing, but we need to be better defensively. We need to cut out those goals from crosses coming into the box and from set plays. Because it was a bit too straightforward. But plenty of encouragement in the way that we've gone forward tonight, the way we've created chances, and I think there are going to be more goals in this game.
I think there probably will be, Ian. So join us into the second half to find out. But at half-time, Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham Town 2.
Perception, maybe your price tomorrow. The cash price number is 1, 5.
No, he certainly wouldn't, Ian. He certainly wouldn't. No, and as we've said there, it's happened far too often, really. Set pieces and crosses into the box, and Cheltenham just haven't got to grips with crosses from the box. They haven't been able to cut them out properly. I mean, I think back to the goal on Friday at Newport when it was a long throw into the box. Cheltenham won the header, cleared it away, but then the right back was able to get down that far side and cross the ball in, and Story was given too much space in the box to head it home. And that's the thing, you've got to be touch tight on your players, especially when you've got players in the Portsmouth side like Ryan Taylor, who's played at a higher level. He's played for Rotherham, Bristol City. He's scored goals at a good level, and and then you've got a predator like Tubbs in the penalty area as well. You really have got to be tight to these players, touch tight to them, and look after them and stop them from scoring goals. But from a positive point of view, Cheltenham have scored 2 goals in the game, and they haven't done that for very often. But when you come to a place like this and score 2 goals, you need to be going away with something. And really, you'd think if you come here and score 2 goals, you should be winning the game. Were you trying to tell me Hartlepool were on 34?
They were on 33. I thought they were on 31 to start. But it's because the live table had them already having a point. It's only the same points. That goal difference.
Right, Children's pitch side now, one of our ex-players, Mark Kelly, who's never with the academy, set up, and he has got with him Adam May, and Adam won gold of the month. Let's have a round of applause for Adam May, won gold of the month. Well done, Adam. Well done, Sean Perry, keep up the good work. We've got a gentleman coming past the front of him now. We've got a gentleman, I want a big round of applause for this gentleman. He's just coming past the front and you can see him. He's got a bucket. His name is Mick Rogers, and he is walking all the way to Kilimanjaro. He's walking 5,500 miles to raise money for the Macmillan cancer, to make the Macmillan cancer. So can we have a round of applause for Mick? Please, come on. It's going to take me 6 to 8 months to go away, Mick. Well done. And as you come closer, please be generous with your change. 5,500 miles. Good luck.
Laptop or something. Give me a laptop or something.
And we have few things to start on. Well, congratulations to Jim of the previous contender. Happy birthday, Del Mario, who's 30 birthday. Happy 8th birthday to Jimmy Sealy. A big thank you to enjoy the thing of the love, God, money, and grand. Happy birthday, Tracy Walker. Lots of love, Joe's being a big thank you to all our marketing team, Lewis Foster, Callum Mark, Germany, Ben Potter, Archie Westwood, Alice Kampradio, Charlie Hughes, and Lydia. And the security guard to Capital is good and a great level of all. And the addition here is the audience right here, lots of love, no doubt. And warm welcome to Andrew Butler, always in the administration. Have a lovely evening. Happy 60th birthday to Alan Bishop for the recovery, and Jan's team, Sarah, Tony, Nick, Sean, Ellen, Ian, Harry Rocket. And finally, all the people that came through to Alan Tommy Bill, who's handled by the 300. All ready for the result. After a score 6-2, Phoenix Mills and the 1. Gavin Reddish 1 Phoenix. Extra Mills Phoenix Mills. Mansfield Mills, Phoenix Mills. Northern White, Phoenix 2. Newport 1, Phoenix Mills. Southampton Mills, Carlisle 1. Carlisle Mills Service. Oxford National Hospital 1. Clifford 1, Hamilton 1. And Liverpool 5.
Capital T 2015 2015. That's what you get away with calling him Giant Ginger, target man, Taylor. He's ginger. Yeah. Sometimes you just wonder whether he
Well, yeah. Cheltenham team is out. Teams are out, but you can still play the equaliser. be ready to go straight after this. Ready to go straight away.
Half-time substitution will be offered. We're off for the second half Barton. We're going to play the number 4 Danny. We're reserve.
Thank you, Ian. Cheltenham about to get the second half underway. No changes to either side at half-time. I'll run through the teams when we get a moment. Well, Paul Goff is telling me there has been a change. I must have.
Yeah, Danny East has gone on for Andy Bartram, and from a Cheltenham point of view, I would say that's not a bad thing, because Bartram, a bit of a thorn in our side during that first half. Must have an injury or something, because he's gone off to be replaced by Danny East.
You know, he did get that knock on the far side, didn't he?
That's right, he did,
in the first half. So I'll run through the sides for you in a moment. Then as Portsmouth look to come forward with Tubbs, lays it off onto the left-hand side. Ball's knocked across, and Craig Brown has to head that away, but it doesn't do it very well, and it's hit Matt Tubbs. And now here's Tubbs on the far side. Tubbs with a shot, and Carson straight into action. That's to turn it over the bar for a Portsmouth corner. The header away by Brian Barrett hit Tubbs, and Tubbs got it left-hand side. Right-hand side, cut into the box, fired it in, and Trevor Carson acrobatically having to turn it over for a Portsmouth corner, which is going to be taken on this near side. And here we go. We've talked about Cheltenham defending set pieces. Let's see how they can defend this one. And corner's going to be swung in, left-footed, in it comes. Header away by Matt Richards, just glances it away. Elliot Richards then will complete the clearance and send it long, deep into the Portsmouth half, and that will go out for a throw and give me a chance to run through the sides. First, Cheltenham, one change from the side, which drew up Newport on Friday. Wes Burns ill, Elliot Richards into the side. So Trevor Carson in goal, back four, Darrell Berry, Craig Brian Barrett, Troy Brown, Will Packwood. Then midfield three, Pablo Mills, Matt Sparrow, Matt Richards. Front three, Danny Haynes, and then Elliot Richards, as I said, and Sean Harrod. The bench for Cheltenham, Gould, Vaughan, Taylor, Hanks, Kavitsa, Winter and Moncey. Ball is knocked forward into the Portsmouth penalty area. Paul Jones comes out. So the Portsmouth side, Paul Jones is the goalkeeper. Webster, Adam Webster, Jack Watmore and Joe De Vera are the back three. Danny East now on as a right wing back. And Dan Butler is the left wing back. Midfield three, Jed Wallace, James Dunn, Danny Hollands. Front two, and they both scored a goal, Ryan Taylor and Matt Tubbs. Cheltenham goal scorers, Elliot Richards and Will Packwood. It's 2-2 here at Fratton Park as Portsmouth look to come forward with Butler on the far side. I'll give you the Portsmouth bench in a moment as they just have the ball with Watmore. Blonde centre half, knocks it to the right-hand side here now to De Vera. He's got East outside him if he wants him, but he goes inside to Dunn. Dunn into Wallace. Wallace looks to turn, get a bit of space, looks to get away from Pablo Mills. Wallace drives it across, and that wasn't far away from the incoming Ryan Taylor. Wallace drove it across. If Taylor had got a touch on that, I would have said that would have put Portsmouth in front, Paul Godfrey.
Yeah, important to weather the storm at the start of the second half. I think Portsmouth are going to come at us throwing quite a lot forward in the first 10 minutes or so of the second half. I think that was probably always going to happen, and important to try and just keep things tight. Don't need to do anything rash just at the moment. Just keep things tight for the time being. Do what we did in the first half, really.
Absolutely. Long ball forward looking for Harrod. Goes over his head. Cleared away by Portsmouth up to Taylor. Lays it off looking for Tubbs, but that's going to give Brian Barrett a chance to come forward down this left-hand side. Brian Barrett just has to check, gives it back to Matt Richards and then gets the ball back. He's got a bit of space now down this left-hand side. Goes into the Portsmouth half, but ball into Danny Haynes wasn't the best. And Portsmouth are able to come away with it with Hollands. Sends it to the far side to Dan Butler on the left-hand side. Butler up the line looking for the run of Taylor. And that's cleared away by Will Packwood for a throw to Portsmouth on the halfway line. 4 minutes gone of the second half. This is BBC Radio Gloucestershire live from Fratton Park. It's match night. It's Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham Town 2. Here is Watmore. Out to the right-hand side to East, the half-time substitute. East will try and take on Brian Barrett. East gets away from Brian Barrett, sends the cross into the box. Wallace tried a shot, but it just ricocheted off him, and now he's got another chance. Digs out a cross, which Trevor Carson manages to save. But there again, Cheltenham's Achilles heel, stopping crosses into the box. First, Danny East was able to get one in, then Jed Wallace was able to get one in.
Yeah, it's happened too often. got to stop those balls coming into the box.
Long ball forward. Long ball forward. Watmore looked to me to have gone through the back of Harrod, but nothing given by Dean Whitestone, and Portsmouth are able to come away with it now with Danny Hollands into Dunn. Dunn gives it back to Hollands in the centre circle. Out to the left-hand side, then to Butler. Portsmouth have started well in this second half. And they've got the ball now with East on the far side. East knocks it forward. Graham Barrett with a header. Rather a cross goal, and that forces Will Packwood into making a save. I've got tonight's attendance in front of me. I'll give you that in a second, as the ball is now with Pablo Mills. Mills into Matt Richards. Richards looks to his left, though, to Graham Barrett. But no, he sends it forward towards Danny Haynes. Been quiet tonight, Danny Haynes. Hasn't had much of a chance, but just blocks that cross from that attempted clearance from De Vera. The crowd, 13,588 at Bratton Park. The away attendance, away to our right in that far corner, 156. So well done to them. And they might have enjoyed quite a lot of that first half, especially the bits between the 18th and 22nd minutes, I'm sure, which is when Cheltenham scored their 2 goals. Ball is now with Harrod. Goes down the left-hand side. He's got support there from Haynes, but it's given away there by Danny Haynes. And he hasn't really got into the game tonight, has he, Danny Haynes?
No, he hasn't. No, I mean, he made one really good run across the box in the first half to set up a chance, but no, we've not seen enough of him. We've not seen enough of those runs. We've not seen enough of him on the ball.
Ball is in the box, and Richards goes down, but nothing is given. Ian Randall just said important goal in my ear. Ian. Well, Hartlepool really coming back into it. They're now on 33 points as it stands at the moment. Cheltenham back in the bottom 2 on goal difference. They've got a throw in though on the far side, which will be taken by Darrell Berry, and he's looking for movement there, but just throws it short. Goes back to him again. A bit tight to the touchline. Digs out across, but that's not going to go anywhere. Into the crowd behind Paul Jones's goal. So reading up from the bottom, Hartlepool on 33 at the moment as the live table stands. Cheltenham 37 in the bottom 2 on goal difference. Tranmere also on 37. York also on 37. Carlisle on 38. Scores that matter at the moment: Cambridge 0, Tranmere 1. It's Northampton 0, Carlisle 0. Oxford 0, Hartlepool 2. York 0, Bury 1. And the scoreline here at Bratton Park is Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham Town 2. And that's Danny Haynes allows that to go out for a throw on this near side, which Craig Brown Barrett is going to take about 5 yards or so inside the Cheltenham half. He's going to have to throw it long. He's right in front of the dugout. Ross Milton just gives him a little bit of instruction. He's stolen a few yards there as Graham Barrett. He's gone about 5 yards into the Portsmouth half. It's flicked on, and Watmore manages to head it away. Haynes' control lets him down a bit and forces Pablo Mills to chase back to win that ball back. And Graham Barrett can't knock the ball, get ball pass done, but Cheltenham have won it back with Sparrow. Here's Graham Barrett down the line looking for the run of Harrod, but he knocks it down, couldn't find Matt Richards, and it's cleared. And now Portsmouth able to come forward with Dunn, looks for the ball for Tubbs, but Troy Brown is able to cut that one out. Now Pablo Mills, and that's a poor ball by Mills, given away. Now here's Butler, able to come forward on the left-hand side into Taylor, flicks it, and plays a little 1-2. Taylor with a cross, volleyed away almost on the 6-yard line by Troy Brown. Now it comes out to Dunn on the edge of the box. Good challenge coming in from Elliot Richards, who made a good bit of chasing back, but still Cheltenham under a bit of pressure on that far side. And Butler couldn't get past Troy Brown. Just the noise just being raised again here inside Bratton Park. Portsmouth send another diagonal ball into the box. Packwood wins a good header, and it's Ryan Taylor just picked up a bit of a knock in that challenge, but it's cleared away by Brian Barrett. Harrod can't hold the ball up, and Watmore sends it long again. And Troy Brown possibly could have left that for Carson, but he elected to chest it down instead to Brian Barrett. Forward to Harrod. Good control by Harrod, and now he sent it out to the right-hand side to Elliot Richards, just 10 yards inside the Portsmouth half. And Elliot Richards will send that forward, but that's not going to find anybody, and Watmore manages to head it away. Pablo Mills wins the second header, but again, Portsmouth have it now with Wallace in the centre circle, sends it forward. 2 Cheltenham players go for the same ball, and Packwood is down with a head injury. I think he may have crushed in there with his own player, Troy Brown. And now Ian Weston comes on. 10 minutes gone in the second half here at Bratton Park. Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham Town 2 on BBC Radio Gloucestershire's match night. Don't forget, text Ian in the studio, 81333. Put Gloss as the first word of your text. Normal standard network rates apply. Tweet at BBC Gloss. Cheltenham just coming under a bit of pressure now, Paul.
Yeah, thought they started the second half strongly. We expected them to. They've got the ball into that enterprising front three that they've got. They've played some nice touches, tried to get Tubbs and Taylor onto the end of things in and around the box. But Cheltenham have dealt with it okay so far. There was that early chance which Tubbs had, which is met with a good save from Carson. That was a little bit unlucky, really, because, I mean, one thing we have bemoaned is when you're down near the bottom of the table, you don't get any luck. And certainly that header from Brian Barrett could have gone anywhere. Ended up hitting Tubbs on the back of the head and dropped just nicely for him. So, but Carson came to the rescue with a good save. So we've done okay. A little bit concerned at the moment because
Packwood is still
Packwood.
He's sitting up now.
Yeah,
Ian
he's
Weston sitting down now. Ian Weston's got him there.
Packwood and Troy Brown went for the same ball and ended up heading each other. Which, again, you know, when you've got so many new players in a team, you've got a central defensive partnership that's only played together in 1.5 games. That's the sort of thing that happens. You know, you just don't strike up that sort of understanding.
No. Just that little bit of panic as well, though, isn't it? You know, you just want a bit of composure in there.
Exactly. It's what we were talking about in the first half. Yeah, people a little bit too eager, a little bit too rushed with some of the things that they're doing, particularly at the back. And which is understandable given the situation, but, you know, a bit more composure is called for, as we've said so often in the first half. Packwood looks like he's okay. He's come over to the side. He's been checked out by the Portsmouth club doctor by the look of it.
Ian, a couple of goals. We'll just wait to see what's happening with Will Packwood. Ball in midfield with Hollands, knocks it out to the far side. Butler's got a bit of space here on the Portsmouth left, looks to take on Darrell Berry, knocks it up the line for Taylor. Taylor knocks it back again to Butler, just checks and then lays the ball back, and now it's with Dunn about 35 yards from goal, spreads it to this near side to Danny East, gives it back then to Dunn. Portsmouth just going across the pitch at the moment, and Webster, the centre half, comes into it, and there's good play by Sean Harrod, just made him have to go back then to Jack Watmore, which he didn't really want to do, and now it's with Dunn on the far side, and he leaves it though to Danny East. Looks to get past Haynes, tricks back and forth and just cuts inside and then lays the ball in, but Pablo Mills is there with a big size 9 to knock it forward, and it's onto the halfway line now with Joe De Vera. De Vera plays it out to the far side to Butler into Tubbs, but that's a good interception by Packwood, who's back on the field and doesn't seem to be showing any ill effects. Now Cheltenham can have a run here. Elliot Richards is running across the field, going up towards the penalty area, but he's blocked off there by De Vera. He wants to try and prevent the corner if he can, and does so. It only gives it as far as Brian Barrett. Now Brian Barrett looks to come down the Cheltenham left-hand side. He's blocked off, and a couple of players in there. Now the ball's in the penalty area and volleyed away by Joe De Vera. Good battling away there by Brian Barrett, but couldn't quite get across in. And now Ryan Taylor's done well for Portsmouth, and he's set them away down the left-hand side, and it's Butler coming forward, the left wing-back. Butler looks for a ball into the channel, and Packwood has to come across as Tubbs made the run, and it's knocked out for a throw.
Yes, Packwood, thankfully back on the pitch, was checked out by the club doctor down there and given the go-ahead to resume.
Important goal again at the bottom of League Two in a moment. The situation changing all the time, and we'll get that goal from Ian Randall in a minute. But first, Portsmouth just have the ball and in their own half with Watmore. Just comes forward, and good challenge by Harrod, holds him up. Ian, give us that goal quickly at Mansfield. Ball changing all the time. Cheltenham drawing 2-2 here. It's Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham 2, but results elsewhere mean that Cheltenham, at the moment, as the table stands, are in the bottom 2 on goal difference. Still, after today, though, 9 matches to go. Here is Butler, knocks it forward, and Troy Brown's going to come across and just whack that high into the stand. 15 minutes gone. We've had an hour here at Fratton Park, and Cheltenham are making a change. And Zach Kubica is the man coming on, and he is replacing Danny Haynes A quiet night tonight for Danny Haynes. So Kavitsa is on for Haynes after an hour. That's Cheltenham's first change of the evening. We'll get Paul Goffey's thoughts on that one in a moment. But first of all, Portsmouth come forward with Taylor. Lays it back to De Vera. De Vera's dink forward, looking for the run of Tubbs. Chests it down, but Packwood does well. Comes in behind him. And now Cheltenham have the ball with Harrod. Harrod to Richards. Matt Richards, that is. Lays it off to Craig Brown-Barrett. And the challenge comes in from Dunn and goes out for a throw. Paul, thoughts on that substitution?
Well, not a surprise because Haynes has been very quiet. Question now, I suppose, whether playing him on the left-hand side is his best position or is the best use to make of him. Clearly a talented player, we know that. He's played League One and Championship throughout his career, but pretty much, out of the game for long periods, really, playing where he was. So possibly back to the drawing board with him to see how he can be better deployed.
Mills, Cheltenham come into the penalty, just couldn't quite get into his stride there. Could Elliot Richards, as the ball was knocked down to him by Sean Harrod. Taylor battles away against Troy Brown, who fouls in. Now, this could be a problem. Troy Brown, as we've said, on 9 bookings, and this is going to be booking number 10 for Troy Brown. So, as we feared, Troy Brown on 9 bookings, and was he shown the yellow card there? I think he was.
He was, yeah.
Yeah, he was shown the yellow card. I think we saw the referee had it out. So the foul on Taylor, and that is 10 bookings for Troy Brown. So that, well, the man alongside me is holding up 2 fingers. So a 2-match ban. He'll miss the next 2 home games, Exeter and Plymouth. Now, free kick comes in, headed away on the edge of the box by Matt Richards. And there is Butler. Gives it across to Dunn. Now, can Cheltenham cut this one out? They can't. It goes across to Watmore, who sends it back, and Webster. And that's a good challenge coming in, actually, there. And Cheltenham have done well to keep Portsmouth back there. Webster, good challenge coming in from Sean Harrod. Well, Paul, 2-game ban for Troy Brown.
Yeah, I mean, you have to deal with it. These things happen. That's football. Players get suspensions, they get injured, and they get called up for international duty. So when we play Plymouth, both centre-halves out there today for us will not be available for that game.
Ian Randall, some more goals and text. Wallace plays it out to the far side. Here's East near the byline. Dinks across in. Header goes up. Heads go up in the box. Foul given against Ryan Taylor. Judged to have just blocked off Will Packwood there as he came out to try and head that away. 63 minutes gone here at Fratton Park. It's Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham Town 2. All the goals in the first half. Matt Tubbs putting Portsmouth ahead after 17 minutes. 92 seconds later, Elliot Richards volleying home. Then 4 minutes after that, after 22 minutes, Will Packwood putting Cheltenham ahead. And then just before half-time, 43 minutes, Ryan Taylor equalising for Portsmouth. So it's 2-2 here. In the live table, however, Cheltenham are in the bottom 2. Long ball is played forward. Here is ball's knocked over towards Tubbs, but then Packwood needs to come across and deal with this, but he doesn't do so. Ryan Taylor picks the ball up edge of the penalty area, lays it back to Jed Wallace, out to this near side, then to De Vera. Has to check that. Good pressure by Sean Harrod. Here's Webster. Webster's ball in, comes off a Cheltenham boot, and that's going to be a corner on the far side to Portsmouth. Ball just knocked forward, and Elliot Richards trying to block the pass through. Unfortunately, though, it just deflected high and out for a corner on the far side, which Jed Wallace has gone over to take. 64 minutes gone. Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham 2 here at Fratton Park. 13,558 is the crowd. Ball knocked across. Matt Richards volleys it away at the near post, and that is going to be straight out for another corner. So another opportunity for the ball to come into the box. Cheltenham have just left Zach Kavitsa as the only man forward. And Portsmouth have 2 men back. So congested penalty area. And Cheltenham need to defend this set piece. In it comes. Corner is a good one and headed away. Good header away it was as well by Will Packwood. Goes up towards Kavitsa. Now, can he get to that loose ball first? He can't. And it's laid back then to De Vera. Kavitsa's chasing it back all the way. It's gone all the way back to Paul Jones on the edge of his penalty area. Jones will knock that one forward. And Troy Brown with a header. Comes straight though to Watmore in the centre circle. Watmore though's given that ball away, and now here is Kavitsa on the left-hand side. Gives it to Matt Sparrow. Sparrow comes across the halfway line. Kavitsa makes a run for him. He's got Brian Barrett outside him as well on the left. But he opts to try and switch the play to the right. It was a bit ambitious and headed away, but Darrell Berry does well. Battles back and wins the ball. Finds Pablo Mills on the halfway line. Mills looks forward for Harrod, but that's not going to find him. And De Vera will just be able to knock that down then to the right wing back who came on at half-time, Danny East. Just come back from a loan spell at Aldershot with Danny East, former Hull City player. And here's Hollands now for Portsmouth. Sends it across to De Vera, and Webster comes forward. It's Webster on the far side. Webster's made about 30 yards there, and his ball to Butler isn't a good one, and it goes out for a throw on the far side. And Ian Randall says, now there's a couple of very important goals. So that goal means that Cheltenham are not in the bottom two as it stands at the moment, that equaliser. But Carlisle are winning, and Cheltenham have given away a free kick there, right on the edge of the penalty area, right on the very corner of the penalty area on the far side of the field. Bit of a rash challenge there. I think it was Darrell Berry, Paul, going in, and another dangerous free kick to give away.
Yeah, didn't read that ball particularly well. Caught the player just as the ball was dropping and about to go through. Yeah, dangerous position right on the corner of the penalty area. Looks as if is it going to be Hollands right-footed, possibly with an in-swinger?
Hollands is definitely one of the players over the ball. No, surprised if Wallace is that Wallace?
Wallace, I think. Yeah, it's going to take it actually. Yeah.
It is Jed Wallace who's going to take this. The Cheltenham wall, the old vanishing spray has come out from Mr. Whitestone, and he's made his line, and it's no more than a yard or two outside the penalty area, right on the very far side, right on the very corner of the box. It's going to be, I think, Jed Wallace who's going to take this, and I'd be surprised if it was a shot. It is a shot low, and Trevor Carson does well, goes down on his goal line, gets his body right behind it, and manages to gather. So nearly 3/4 of the game up here at Fratton Park on BBC Radio, Gloucestershire's match night. It's Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham Town 2. Watmore just lays the ball back to his centre-half colleague Webster, knocks it forward, headed down by Pablo Mills, battling away for the ball in the box, and Cheltenham are judged to have fouled. I think it was a bit harsh. I think the Portsmouth player was already going down then when Matt Richards went in and made that challenge. And Portsmouth just getting ready to make a change. Paul.
Yeah, I mean, foul count. Portsmouth 2 fouls conceded, Cheltenham 10. So I think there's a couple of things in there. Possibly, we've given away too many silly free kicks. We've been doing that a bit lately. Need to really do a bit of work on that. Also, I think the referee has been a bit over fussy once or twice. Didn't really need to give a couple of the free kicks that he's given, but that's the way we need to try and cut down on that if we can. Portsmouth have just made a change. Wes Fogden, the forward, has gone on in place of
Webster.
Andy
Webster, one of the centre halves.
Right, so that's interesting. So they've gone to 4-4-2, I would suspect.
We'll keep an eye on that one and see how the formation. And now here's Kavitsa for Cheltenham coming forward. Kavitsa with a run. Good challenge coming in by, I think that was actually Hollands who made that challenge. And it's knocked forward towards Taylor. Troy Brown comes across. And in fact, it was Will Packwood who completed the clearance, hammered it into the crowd here. 69 minutes gone at Fratton Park on live on BBC Radio Gloucestershire match night. 81333 for your text. Ball knocked forward by Ryan Taylor, headed away by Packwood. 81333 for your text. But Gloss is the first word. Normal standard rates apply, or tweet at BBC Gloss. Danny East will take a throw for Portsmouth, level with the edge of the penalty area. No, he won't. He will leave it, and Danny Hollands will come across, and he will take the throw. And it's going to be a long one. Cheltenham need to dig in here. Quarter of the game to go. 68 minutes gone. It's 2-2. Long ball from Hollands. And that's a foul given away by Ryan Taylor. Ian Randall, some more goals. They're going in everywhere. It certainly does. It certainly does. Let's just run through those scores. Cambridge 1, Tranmere 2, Northampton 0, Carlisle 2, Oxford 0, Hartlepool 2, York 0, Bury 1, and here at Fratton Park, Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham 2. So, a few unexpected and surprise results flying around tonight, especially, I would say, that one for Carlisle. That's an excellent scoreline for them at Northampton. Cheltenham have to try and dig in, as we say here now, knocked away there by Will Packwood. 20 minutes to go here at Fratton Park. Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham Town 2. Danny East with the throw. Gets it back again from Taylor. Good challenge comes in though from Kavitsa, but East has got away from Kavitsa. And then Matt Richards comes across and puts in a good challenge. And that will go out for a throw midway inside the Portsmouth half. But as we've said all along, Paul, you know, the only team that's going to keep Cheltenham up is Cheltenham, isn't it?
Exactly,
you can't rely on what other teams are going to do.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest with you, I didn't even look at the fixtures tonight because, you know, at the start of the game, we were outside the bottom two, and if we won, we were going to stay there. So that's all I'm bothered about, is what we do.
Sorry, Paul, break off for a moment. Harrod knocked the ball through towards Richards, but Watmore came in with a good challenge. Kavitsa sends it down the line, and East, though, is easily able to just let that one run out of play. Goal at Mansfield, Ian Randall. Mansfield started the day on 42, so they're now up to 43. And Carlisle are on 40, so there you go. They're being, it's all closing up maybe a little bit, the game. Cheltenham need to dig in here and just get something, if they can, out of this game. As the ball is, and they're doing it at the moment, it's Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham 2. They've got a free kick, roughly not far from the sort of area that Matt Richards put the ball in for Will Packwood's header. Sort of about 10 yards inside the Portsmouth half. Oh, I can hear the bell, Paul.
Yes, John Anthony Portsmouth Football Club Westwood is in the house.
And there is Richards, sends it in towards the edge of the penalty area and battling away, and that's given us a free kick though. Sean Harrod going in for the ball with Joe De Vera. It's given away as a free kick just on the edge of the box.
I'll tell you a story about him next time there's a little break in play.
It's a well-known, very well tattooed Portsmouth. John Anthony Portsmouth FC. That is his name, isn't it? He did actually change it. Here is Matt Richards. Lays it back then to Trevor Carson. Carson just carefully watches the ball, but then can only clear it long, and it just goes over Russell Milton's head on the halfway line. Both managers out of their technical areas. Throw right on halfway to Portsmouth, which Danny East will take. Gives it into Wallace. Good challenge from Elliot Richards. And now Cheltenham look to win that one with Matt Richards, and he does so. And it drops again to a Portsmouth foot, and Danny East. And it's knocked out, and Cheltenham will have a throw. 10 yards inside the Portsmouth half. Craig Graham-Barrett will take it. Richards comes short for him. Matt Richards, that is. Looks to send it down the line, comes off the Portsmouth foot. Wes Fogden. I'm not sure if they have changed formation, you know. Flying East has gone into a centre-half role, and I think Fogden is playing sort of down this right-hand side.
We'll see when they form up in just a minute. I think East has dropped back a bit deeper, and Fogden has gone on to the right. They did. We were talking about the game before the match downstairs. They did seem to think that might happen, but at some stage, even they thought it might have been De Vera possibly would drop back if they felt that Portsmouth had the flexibility to change formation even without making a substitution. So it looks as if that's what they've done. By bringing on Fogden, who's a more attacking player down the right-hand side.
East sends it forward. Packwood wins the header, and Graham-Barrett can't keep it in play. 74 minutes gone at Fratton Park. It's Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham Town 2. And now Cheltenham can come on the break maybe with Elliot Richards, and he's fouled on the edge of the centre circle. Free kick given away by Dunn. And there's been another goal in League Two, and this one's at Wickham, Ian. Yeah, it's one of Cheltenham's remaining away trips. That's on April the 11th. Here is Matt Richards. He'll send this ball into the box. Headed away though on the edge of the box by De Vera. Chested down by Elliot Richards. Lifts it into the box looking for the runner Packwood, but he's offside. And then Paul Godfrey after 75 minutes. I think that's the first offside of the game.
It is, yes. Yeah, it's the first. There's not been a lot in terms of not been a great deal for the referee to do. Really, he's only given 1 yellow card so far. That was to the one player on the pitch that we didn't want to give him to. That was Troy Brown.
Yeah.
One offside and a couple more fouls committed by Portsmouth in the last few minutes, just to even it up a little bit.
Yes, and Dunn knocks it forward into the space behind Darrell Berry, and Berry has to turn away. He's got to play it, and he does well in his own penalty area. Just for a moment there, you just had your heart in your mouth a bit, but he's managed to find Zach Kavitsa on this left-hand side. Kavitsa bursts forward. He's got Brain Barrett outside him, and Brain Barrett stopped. I thought if Brain Barrett could have carried on his run there, he might have been able to give it to him, but Cheltenham have worked this one well, and it's with Matt Sparrow in a bit of space. Sparrow to Elliot Richards. He's got Darrell Berry outside him. Richards tries a shot, and that's not a very difficult one for Paul Jones, who catches it and then bowls it straight out again to Butler on this left-hand side. And Butler's ball is long and just drops over the head of Darrell Berry. And can Taylor keep that in? Does very, very well, in fact. Goes across on that right-hand side and knocks it out for a throw right on the corner flag to Cheltenham.
He's a good player, Taylor. I mean, strangely, he wasn't in the side at the start of the season, and we played a reserve game against Portsmouth back in September at the training ground, and he played in that. Played just the first 45 minutes, scored 2 goals, and we thought he was an absolute class above everybody else on the pitch at that point in time. So it wasn't long before he was back in the first team, and you can see that he has played at a higher level. He's just the sort of centre forward that you really want in your team. He's got that combination of physicality and awareness of what's going on around him as well. He just knows. He played a great ball across the box just a few minutes ago. Just saw what was happening on the left-hand side and dinked it across. Good player.
14 minutes to go at Fratton Park, live on BBC Radio Gloucester's Match Night. It's Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham Town 2. It's a little stoppage at the moment. Ian Weston's on the field. Now, Paul, have you got time to tell us your story about John Anthony Portsmouth FC Westwood?
Yeah, well, a couple of years ago, we were in a pub in Cheltenham in the centre of town during the summer. It wasn't during the football season. And he walked in with a couple of his mates. We recognised him straight away. I sort of run across him from watching England games here and there. And my wife had both met him before. And he came into the pub and just sort of sat there quite quietly. Then my wife, for reasons best known to herself, said to him, "Oh, where's your bell?" And he said, "I'll go and get it." And everybody groaned around us. And then, the more beer that he drank, the more the bell was heard. So so we were treated to loud ringing of the bell for a long time in the pub, complete, and also displays of his various Portsmouth tattoos on parts of his body.
I think Cheltenham are going to have to make a change here. And Matt Taylor is going to have to come on, and it's Will Packwood who's coming off. And I think he may have got another little bang on the head there. So Packwood is off, and Matt Taylor has come on for Cheltenham. Ian Randall, you said goal in Monaco, I believe. That would be a bit rough, wouldn't it, after going to Monaco and winning 2-0. But there again, damage done maybe in the first leg. Here it's 2-2. We've got 12 and a half minutes to go. Matt Taylor on as a substitute for Will Packwood. Ball knocked forward. Taylor holds it up against Troy Brown, and the run is made, and Matt Taylor's first touch is a good one as he intercepts, but it comes to Wallace. Shot is deflected. That's going to be a corner. Good block by Pablo Mills. It was a good touch by Matt Taylor. Good first touch. The ball came back out, and then the shot from Wallace, and then it was blocked. And now Portsmouth will have a corner on this near side. Yes, and got lots of Taylors and lots of Richardses on the field now. We've got a Matt Taylor up against the Ryan Taylor. So that's not going to be too confusing, is it? Here comes the corner for Portsmouth. Butler sends it into the far post, and a slip by Pablo Mills, and the header came in. And it was Joe De Vera, I think, who was up from the back, but it was easy for Trevor Carson, and that's a blow, isn't it, losing Will Packwood, Paul?
Yeah, looks a good player. He's done very well in this game up until now, but that's 2 bangs on the head he's taken, and I think probably no chances being taken with him. He's gone off, and Matt Taylor, of course, vastly experienced central defender, ideal person to go in and replace him, and Taylor's certainly going to see some action in the next couple of weeks because with that suspension coming up for Troy Brown. Pablo Mills, of course, also can play at centre back, and he dropped in there earlier on when Packwood was off the field. So there are options there, and of course Jack Deeman as well, who played earlier in the season. So there are players that can step in for that Plymouth game.
Cheltenham have that now, of course. They have those options all over the field. But now they've got 10 minutes, 10 and a half minutes here to try and keep a point, or maybe, if they can't, get something else even better out of the game. And now that's going to be a throw to Portsmouth. Matt Sparrow's put the ball out of play, and it's level with the edge of the Portsmouth penalty area down this right-hand side. And referee wants the throw taken from the right place. And I think Jed Wallace was trying to nick a bit of extra yardage, but it's come back there to East, and East just throws it into Taylor. Back to East. He's up against Kavitsa. He has to go square then to Hollands, who knocks it out. One more out to the left back Butler. Butler's cross is high into the box looking for Ryan Taylor. Taylor won that, but it's only going to go out of the penalty area. Kavitsa's clearing header's not a good one, and Portsmouth can come back there with Wallace. Matt Richards is beaten. Good play by Danny East. Manages to get past and then gives the ball away, and that's good play by Sean Harrod, who was all the way back there, and then it's knocked forward by Craig Graham Barrett. And Portsmouth, and then Matt Richards. And Matt Richards can't get the ball off Joe De Vera, and it goes out for a throw on this near side to Portsmouth, about 15 yards inside their own half. This is BBC Radio Gloucester, live from Fratton Park. We've got 9 minutes to go. It's Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham Town 2. Pablo Mills is beaten there by Wallace. Matt Taylor then comes in, and Matt Taylor gives away a free kick. And Wes Fogden wanted to take that quickly, but Cheltenham had weren't going to let him do that, I'm certain. And as it is, it's going to be Butler, the left back, who's come across, and he's going to take this one with his left foot. Something has happened at Oxford, which we'll find out a little bit about in a moment after this free kick. Here is Butler. He's going to take it. He's going to swing it in to the centre of the goal, headed away by Troy Brown. Kavitsa can't get anything on it to complete the clearance, and then wasn't a very good touch by Butler. And now Cheltenham can come down this left-hand side. It's with Sean Harrod. Butler puts it out. Ian, what is that development at Oxford? As it stands, despite the this what everybody thought would be a good result before play, Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham 2. Cheltenham would, as the results stand, go back into the bottom two tonight. Now they've got a throw in on level with the edge of the Portsmouth penalty area down this near side, which Craig Graham Barrett is going to take. He's got Kavitsa there if he wants him. He's got Richards, Matt Richards that is. Elliot Richards is a bit further over. Brian Barrett gives it there, throw down to Matt Richards, and it's back with Brian Barrett. Cross comes into the far post, headed away by Watmore, knocked back in again by Pablo Mills, headed away again by Joe De Vera. And Portsmouth can try and break, but Elliot Richards has done well there, and he's just broken up the play and given away a throw to Portsmouth. 7.5 minutes to go at Fratton Park. It's Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham Town 2. All the goals in the first half. Matt Tubbs putting Portsmouth ahead. Elliot Richards equalising. Will Packwood then putting Cheltenham ahead. Ryan Taylor equalising. So a bit of a topsy-turvy first half. Not had many chances, direct chances in the second half. Trevor Carson made a save from Matt Tubbs in the very first minute of the second half. But not a lot else for either goalkeeper to do. Definitely not much for Paul Jones to do. Cheltenham have been pegged back quite a lot in this second half. Had a lot of defending to do. Here's Danny East on the centre circle, knocks it forward, header by Taylor, but that's going to just run through, and Matt Taylor will leave that for Trevor Carson. Cheltenham made two substitutions in this second half. Zach Kavitsa came on after an hour for Danny Haynes, and then a few moments ago Matt Taylor came on for Will Packwood, who's taken a couple of knocks, a couple of blows to the head, I think, during this game, so I think safety first. And the other news really is the 10th booking of the season for Troy Brown, which means that he will miss Cheltenham's next two games, both at home, Exeter on Saturday, and then Plymouth the following Saturday. And of course, you can hear live commentary of both of those on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. And header away by Kavitsa. Just lucky maybe not to give a free kick away there, to have pushed Danny East, but referee just opts to give the throw, and East on the halfway line gets the ball back from Wallace, and then Matt Richards has done well, and he's won that off Danny East, and now he's trying to go down the touchline. It's good play by Matt Richards, just battled away for it, won the ball. Maybe not the part of Matt Richards' game that he's renowned for, but he's done well in that little. He's won a few of those little battles tonight, hasn't he, Paul?
Yeah, overall, it's been a good battling performance. The player who's impressed me as well, actually, been Sean Harrod. He's not had a great deal to do at the front of the team, but his work rate has been fantastic. He's come over to the left, he's got behind the ball, he's run across, worked the line, occupied the central defenders. He's really put a good shift in tonight.
Matt Taylor wins it and then volleys the ball out, and Ian Randall some more goals. James Constable. Well, there's a name that Cheltenham have come across in a few times for Oxford United, and now he's done for Portsmouth on the far side, out towards Butler. Butler cuts inside, goes cutting across the field. And he's got Matt Richards around him. He just managed to dig the ball out, and Troy Brown did well there. Had to get in there, otherwise the ball was going to find their way through to Ryan Taylor. Into the last 5 minutes now at Fratton Park. It's Portsmouth 2. Cheltenham 2, and Portsmouth have a corner, but they're going to make a substitution before that corner, their third and final change. And I think this is Paul McCallum who is coming on. It's Paul McCallum on loan from West Ham, just back, as I said before the start of the game. Got banned for 7 matches for a red card against Southend, and then he knocked the card out of the referee's hand. Not the most sensible thing he's ever done. And he's replaced James Dunn. In comes the corner. Header goes up and over off the Cheltenham head. There'll be another corner on the far side. 4 minutes to go at Fratton Park. Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham Town 2. Goals from Elliot Richards and Will Packwood for Cheltenham. Matt Tubbs and Ryan Taylor, as they did on Saturday, scoring 1 each for Portsmouth. Ball comes in. Matt Richards on the near post, gets his head to it, and it's good distance on the header as well. And, Cheltenham have won the second ball and volleyed it further forward. Now Portsmouth have to pick the ball up on the halfway line with De Vera. Sends it high into the box. Matt Richards again wins a header. And then a bit of a clattering challenge comes into the back of Harrod. And Portsmouth have got it on the far side there with Butler. And they'll lay it up the line looking for Wallace, but it's a good challenge coming in there from Darrell Berry. And it's sent forward, and Matt Taylor comes across and wins that header for Cheltenham. And just got to dig in now, Cheltenham, for these last few minutes. Here's Watmore for Portsmouth, deep inside his own half. And he's allowed to just come over the halfway line. He's made about 20 yards, and then he's found a good ball out to the left-hand side to Butler. Butler's up against Darrell Berry, plays it back into a bit of Spain. He's laid into the box, and Portsmouth have got a chance here. Then lost it across, and Carson's managed to clear that with his foot as the ball was. Cheltenham just switched off a bit there on the far side, and the ball was knocked across the box, and Trevor Carson's foot came to Cheltenham's rescue. Here's Harrod into Richards, back to Harrod down the left-hand side. Matt Richards goes across, and Watmore is forced into a clearance out, and well, there you are, Paul Godfrey. Trevor Carson's foot comes to the rescue.
Well, yeah, it was a good save by Carson. It was a great ball, actually. It was a really good piece of play by Portsmouth. A great ball to pick out Taylor inside the box. But Cheltenham just had a fantastic chance on the breakaway there. 2-on-2 became 3-on-3. Really should have made better of that. I think Sean Harrod just hesitated a little bit. Could have knocked an early ball through for Matt Richards. If he'd got that one right, he could have been in on goal. Great chance for a quick breakaway.
Cheltenham, we're going to bring Jordan Winter on in a moment. But first of all, they're going to have a throw on the far side. Gone back to Darrell Berry. Cheltenham still have it deep in that far corner. And now the flag is up for something. I think it's an offside, actually. Yeah. It is an offside against Darrell Berry. And now Cheltenham are going to make that change. And the man coming off is Elliot Richards. And the man coming off is Jordan Winter. Ian Randall, some goals. Well, I think it's fair to say that the results have not been kind to Cheltenham tonight.
Well, no, but they were on Saturday. I couldn't believe the results on Saturday all went our way. Tonight they've gone against us, but that's going to happen. We've got to sort our own results out. That's the most important thing.
It certainly is.
We're going to we drop back into the bottom two, then that's what we do, and we have to go again. Can't get too anxious about it. We've got to keep working. Got to keep doing things right. Again, this will be a good point if we can hang on for it.
Here's Wallace, left-hand side, cuts across the penalty area, beats 3 men, sends it to the far post. Taylor will win the header. They want handball to Portsmouth, but they're not going to get it. And Cheltenham are going to get a goal kick. It was a lot of Wallace just beat a couple of players, sent it to the far post, but Cheltenham just kept their shape, defended it well. We've got 20 seconds of the 90 to go. Going to look down. The fourth official will be out with his board any time now. Live on BBC Radio, Gloucestershire's match night. Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham Town 2. All the goals in the first half. Matt Tubbs after 17 for Portsmouth. 92 seconds later, Elliot Richards equalised for Cheltenham. Then Will Packwood put Cheltenham ahead after 22. And then after 43, Ryan Taylor equalised for Portsmouth. And now we are over the 90 minutes, so I'm just having a look down. I haven't seen the board yet. Paul Godfrey's going to keep an eye on that for me. Ball is not forward. Pablo Mills doesn't win it, and then it's headed down rather than away by Troy Brown. Good interception by Craig Graham Barrett there. And now it's gone all the way back to Joe De Vera. Now he's going to just put it square to Watmore in the centre circle. Watmore's going to come forward. He's blonde hair streaking behind him as he makes 20 yards. 5 added minutes. Thank you, Paul. Knocked forward, and now Cheltenham have the ball. Cheltenham can make a break here again. Here's Harrod to Richards. Richards goes outside his man. Richards going down the far side. It's going to be a throw to Cheltenham midway inside the half. And there again, Matt Richards making good ground to try and get up with Sean Harrod there.
Yeah, another promising little opening, and Cheltenham had to do a lot of defending in this second half, but there are opportunities on the break, but we've got to get that accuracy in the transition. When we get hold of the ball, it's got to be done quickly and it's got to be done accurately. And unfortunately, the couple of times we've had that opportunity to break onto Portsmouth, we just haven't got the quality of ball into the front player.
Attempted cross is blocked there by Jordan Winter. It goes out to Darrell Berry on the far side. Berry down the line, gets it back again. Cheltenham deep inside the Portsmouth half. That's a bit short from Berry. Given the ball away, and now Cheltenham have got to battle away to get it back. They haven't won it, and now Portsmouth can come forward, knock forward up towards Matt Tubbs. And the header, and Craig Graham Barrett tidies up, but again the clearance isn't a good one. It's picked up by Fogden, but now Cheltenham have won it back with Pablo Mills in the centre circle. Mills knocks it forward down the right-hand side. Sean Harrod's going to chase after that with Watmore. And Harrod gets around Watmore, just can't keep the ball in play. Disappointing there. He'd done well. He shrugged off Watmore, who has actually stayed down for a moment. 2 minutes of the 5 added minutes have gone. It's Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham 2 as we have another stoppage. So the game's going to have a bit more stoppage time on top. If you want to react to this result and also maybe the results elsewhere, 81333 for your text. Ian Randall in the studio. Put Gloss as the first word of your text. And hopefully we'll hear from Russell Milton if we can before 10 o'clock when the programme ends. But yeah, your text welcome. 81333. Put Gloss as the first word of your text. And normal standard rates apply, or tweet at BBC Gloss. On the face of it, Paul, 2-2 at Portsmouth is a decent result.
Exactly. And the point I keep making is we're making progress. You know, this was never going to be a simple job to turn around the hole we dug ourselves into. We've changed the team around. We've brought in good players. Russell's gone about his work with Stevie and the rest of the guys really well. It's a much more positive atmosphere around the place. There are going to be setbacks as it goes along. We're going to lose games before the end of the season. Probably going to spend a bit more time in the bottom two. The important thing is that we keep building towards safety at the end of the season. And this will be, if we can hold on for this point with 3 minutes of injury time left, that'll be another good step in the right direction. The important thing to go again on Saturday, home match. Got to try and get the points at home. Supporters have been fantastic in the last few weeks since Russell took over. They've got behind the team brilliantly. They can hear him tonight over there in the corner. 156.
Yeah,
made some tremendous noise tonight in support of the team. Just got to keep it going for the rest of the season, and don't let anxiety creep in. If we're in the bottom two, okay, we get on with it. We try and get the points to get out.
Now, Jack Watmore had a bit of treatment after that, and he's now ready to come back on. A result from the Champions League. It's finished in Monaco. Monaco 0, Arsenal 2. So Arsenal 3-3 on aggregate, go out on away goals. So Arsenal out of the Champions League. But here at Fratton Park, we're now 4 minutes into stoppage time. The referee did put up 5, but I think it'll go on a bit longer due to that injury to Watmore. Portsmouth have a throw in right down in front of us here, about 5 yards or so inside the Cheltenham half. And Danny East is going to take it, sends it up the line. Craig Graham Barrett's header goes rather up rather than away, and Portsmouth again will try and knock that down the channel. Troy Brown wins it. Zach Kavitsa gets a flick on. Here's Sean Harrod. He's done well there, Harrod. He's won a throw because De Vera came across and had no option there but to put it out for a throw. We've nearly had the 5 minutes of stoppage time now here at Fratton Park, and Craig Brown Barrett has a throw down in front of us. It's Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham Town 2, live on BBC Radio Gloucestershire's match night here at Fratton Park. It's been an eventful evening, but it's been a resilient performance from Cheltenham tonight. And again, I think Russell Milton will be really pleased with what he's seen from his team. And I think Jack Watmore is actually going to go off, and I think Portsmouth are going to finish with the 10. He'd gone up front as a bit of a passenger, but now he's limped off down the tunnel. So Portsmouth are going to finish with 10 due to the injury. They've made all three of their substitutions, and the ball is thrown forward by Brian Barrett. That's a foul given away by Sean Harrod. Fouled Danny East, and Paul Jones will take the throw. A few people get up and decide to leave a little bit early. We've had 5.5 minutes of stoppage time. The referee only said 5, but there's been an injury in the stoppage time, so that's why we're having a bit longer. Header away by Darrell Berry. In comes De Vera, wins a strong header. Portsmouth, remember, finishing the game with 10. Matt Richards just nudges the ball forward, out for a throw. And it's a throw to Portsmouth. And there is East, takes it quickly down to Joe De Vera, gets it back to East. I think they'll want to launch one more into the box, and it goes across to Hollands, who's now playing as a centre half. Hollands in his own half, sends it long, deep up towards Ryan Taylor. Flick down towards East on the far side now. East will want to have a little run at Kavitsa. Goes outside him is Fogden. Matt Richards does well, comes across, knocks that out for a throw, and Cheltenham will have one more throw to defend. We're nearly 6.5 minutes into stoppage time. Can't be very much longer to go now. It'll be a long throw for Cheltenham to defend. It's going to be Danny Hollands who's going to launch a long throw into the box. Here it comes. It's headed up in the air by Matt Richards, and can he win the second header? That's a foul, and that is the final whistle here at Fratton Park. Referee Dean Whitestone, and that means that Cheltenham and Portsmouth have met 4 times, and all 4 of the games have been draws, because it's finished here tonight. Portsmouth 2, Cheltenham Town 2. Story of the game, 17 minutes. Andy Bartram got away down the right-hand side, and a low cross tapped in at the far post by Matt Tubbs. 92 seconds later, Matt Richards' diagonal ball headed down by Sean Harrod, volleyed in by Elliot Richards for his first Cheltenham goal. 4 minutes later, Cheltenham led. Yes, Cheltenham led, would you believe? Matt Richards with a free kick, diagonal ball into the box. Will Packwood stole in and stooped low to glance the header under the body of Paul Jones. Then could Cheltenham hold on to half-time? Could they keep that lead to half-time? No, they couldn't. Dan Butler sent a free kick in from the left-hand side, and Ryan Taylor nodded it past Trevor Carson. Second half, not much goalmouth incident. One save for Carson from a shot from Tubbs, and then late on, when Portsmouth got away down the left-hand side, he got his foot to a cross, and then Cheltenham managed to clear it. But a resilient performance from Cheltenham. On the face of it, 2-2 at Portsmouth is an excellent result. But I'm afraid results elsewhere do mean Cheltenham drop into the bottom 2. But results and performances like this, Paul Godfrey, can only give hope for the last 9 games.
Exactly. I mean, it's very positive out there on the pitch. I can see all of the players and the management have gone over to the supporters who stayed behind to applaud them all. The supporters over there chanting, "We are staying up." And, they've obviously been very encouraged by what they've seen once again. A good, resilient display by Cheltenham Town. The only disappointment, I suppose you could say, is that having got 2-1 in front, we couldn't display that resilience